All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, it's Anchorman here, back with another episode of Multiverse Podcast, the greatest podcast on Mondays, back with a new crew of guys to talk about all this Comic-Con news and all the stuff that happened over the week and the weekend in terms of gaming and pop culture stuff. First up, I want to introduce my co-host, Fame Entertainment.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from the Inner Circle. And once again, welcome to the greatest podcast on a Monday. Glad you guys are here with us once again. Just a heads up, our Gears of War 4 giveaway is up and running. The link should be in the description. If not, I'll be dropping it to you guys in the chat throughout the night. Yeah, man, looking forward to a great day. We got a lot of news to talk about, and I'm looking forward to getting to it.
All right, and we also have our other co-host who's finally able to make this with us today, Undead.
I'm glad to be back on the Grace Podcast on Monday. I'm ready to talk about these amazing Comic-Con trailers, so it's going to be hype.
Oh, man. And we have our guest for the evening, Demigod Reviews.
Hey, guys, Demigod Reviews here. If you know me from the Writer's Block Podcast, it shouldn't be a problem. But I'm here to talk about comics at one time, and games tomorrow. So let's get started.
Yeah, we've had having Comic-Con. This is probably one of the best Comic-Cons we've had in years. Where both parties, both Marvel and DC, showed up with stuff to show and a good chunk of it to show. So we want to talk about a few things, but I guess we'll kind of go in order. Let's see. What do we want to start with first? First of all, let's actually talk about a game first. We have the Ultimate Alliance collection is going to be coming out next week, or actually, I guess it's this week now. So it's going to be the Ultimate Alliance 1 and Ultimate Alliance 2. You can buy them for $40 each or $60 together. They're going to be remastered. We haven't seen any real footage of it to see if it's actually any good in terms of a graphic upgrade. But we'll see about that. What do you guys think about that? You guys actually play Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah, it's not worth me paying for the remaster, honestly. I'd much rather it become backwards compatible, for Xbox. I'm to be honest, I'm not one paying $40 for these two games. It's just not for me. The games were okay, they were fun, but not worth me playing again on the rematch. It wasn't like they were just great. I need to go and play these games again. It wasn't that good. Not worth buying again, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I'm on that same boat too. I beat Ultimate Alliance I don't know how many times. So buying it again, especially for a $40 price tag or $60 for both, it's a little too pricey for me. I'm kind of with Fame. I'm on Xbox, so backwards compatible would have been more optimal for me because I still have the games. But if they drop in price, like if they go on a flash sale for like $20 each or $15 or something, yeah, I'll get them. But right now, no, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm excited because I love those games. I played it on PS2 and I played it on 360. I really enjoy those games. Who's playing Pokemon Go?
Hey, man.
I heard that.
I'm just checking. I'm keeping an eye on it. Just keeping an eye on it.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good deal if you never played the games. I'm really kind of ticked off though that they're doing the $40 for an individual, but you got to pay $60 for both. And it's just like, come on, man, just do $30. Good. Don't pull this stuff with us. Do what they did with what was the game? What was it? It was one of the first remasters they did. It was the double collection, Metro. Do what they did with Metro, where Metro they say like half price for the individual games. You just buy them if you like the first one. You can buy the second one. Good to go. No extra cost. I liked that. That was a smart way of doing stuff, but it's going to do it the douchebag way. But all right. But so yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm looking forward to it because I know a lot of the Channel 5 guys really do enjoy that game, mostly just because they want to play Silver Surfer or Daredevil or Wolverine or something. But anyway, so on to the actual big Comic-Con.
Demi was like, I ain't got nothing to say on the topic.
Nah, I mean, it's cool, but personally, I gamefly Ultimate Alliance when I was younger, and I was just like, all right.
Yeah, I understand. Anyway, so Wonder Woman trailer. What do you guys think about that? That thing, for me, I was excited.
Being completely honest here, I think it looks way better than the Justice League trailer. That trailer legit
Whoa.
impressed me.
Okay.
And-
It did look good. Don't get me wrong. It did look good, but that Justice League trailer was good, bro. I can't give the nod of it. It did look good. I cannot give the nod of a Justice League trailer, man. But it looked good. It just further shows the point they picked the right girl, Gal Gadot, to play Wonder Woman. But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. It looks absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Over
I have
you,
to admit, I was not really that interested in the movie. Watched the trailer, and it's gonna be like I'll be in line first day. it looks absolutely amazing. Like, it blew my mind.
I mean, okay, I'm looking at it as, from what we gather, it looks like it's going to be set in World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the setting because not a lot of movies do that. I mean, the only problem I have with it is that it feels like, I don't want to say it, they're kind of copying Marvel on this one.
You think she's doing the whole Captain America thing with them?
It's the Captain America thing where it's like, yeah, we're going to do this flashback to basically give you a good lead-in to what her character was like, and then we're gonna go forward in time. Yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, all that stuff happened. And I don't know. I feel like it's kind of cheap, but other than that, I like the vibe I was getting from it. It kind of reminded me of like Clash of the Titans. I like Chris Pine is in the movie. They even got that nod with Etta Candy. I was like, all right, I see you, Wonder Woman. I'm interested now. All right.
Yeah, I always kind of feared that Wonder Woman wouldn't be able to hold her own on the big screen, and I think if you're going to even have that worry, or if you're trying to find a way to make sure that's not a worry, why not follow what Marvel did? I mean, it may work out great. I'm just wondering how they're going to push her forward to the end of the movie. Will it just be, we're going to stop at the World War I thing and you won't see her for a while in upcoming movies? I was wondering what they're going to do with that character. Because with Captain America, we all understood about him being frozen. Okay, boom. Yeah, but with Wonder Woman, I wonder if they're going to just, all right, all this happened then, and we're going to just fast forward to the future, like immediately to the end of the movie, or some of the things where her movies will gradually be in different time periods until the Justice League, or we won't see her again until the Justice League. It's really interesting to see how they're going to zip us through her time period.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
because she's been alive for forever and a day.
Yeah. I mean, that is an interesting aspect. I'm not really sure what they would do if maybe it would determine if they keep her line going or not. I don't know if they would, like in terms of like, okay, well, yeah, we're gonna jump to World War II, we're gonna jump to Cold War or something like that. I don't think they'll do that, but I think that they might show like a montage or something of her like going through time or something like that, or maybe even I don't know, maybe just say she goes back to Themyscira for a bit and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out here and just wait until my moment comes.
Do we have a potential release window for Justice League?
I think it was 2018. Is that right?
I thought they showed it was confirmed for like 2017, didn't it?
I saw a video the other day. They said they had a year and a half left.
Justice League release date, according to Google, is June 14th, 2019.
Whoa.
Because, I mean, they have a lot to do to get this thing going. We still need. I know we're gonna. We still need story on Cyborg. We need story on Flash. I mean, people need their. I mean, they can't just all of a sudden put everybody together in a movie. They can't rush it. Marvel took their time. Marvel was very strategic before they put everyone together. People had their individual movies. People had their individual stories, their time to shine, to get people more acclimated for those who aren't really into the comics or into the television, the cartoons when we were younger. People who don't really have that much time with these characters need to learn these characters. And I'm hoping that they don't just rush the Justice League out because they're trying to play catch up to the MCU.
Actually, hold up. Sorry, no, that's Google messed me around. Justice League Part 1 comes out in 2017. Justice League Part 2 comes out in 2019.
Y'all think that's kind of early since we just started this thing?
I think that's very too early if they're trying to build.
Well, see, wouldn't they? And I'm thinking out loud here. They got Aquaman coming in 2018. Why wouldn't you introduce all your characters in their own films first and then
Exactly.
They're doing it retroactively, so they don't. So we're not like Marvel.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the same time, this could bite them in the ass and look really, really bad.
Because you won't have the excitement for these characters. Marvel, the Justice League had excitement because you're like, man, Iron Man is my dog. Oh man, I hope people knew these characters. Even if they didn't like that, they didn't read the comic. They knew these characters because they had their own movies. They knew these characters. They built a relationship with these characters. They built some time with them. So oh man, I'm getting all these great characters together in one film. This is going to be great. I'm gonna go watch it. And I think DC's dropping the ball by trying to play catch up. They need to take their time.
Yeah, we can keep sitting here and keep critiquing DC for it. I mean, it's a strategy that they're going for. I think it's dumb, but I mean, it's clearly the path they're taking, and they're not going to listen to us. So it's kind of too late as well. They kind of already put over the ball.
I mean, we just guys with a podcast. They got the big wigs and stuff. They're not gonna listen to comic book fans. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just and like moving on from Wonder Woman. Let's just talk about the Justice League trailer because I mean that was like while we're already kind of on the topic. Like I thought the Justice League trailer was really good. I was really digging the vibe of it. Though I only had two real complaints. The first one being the script writing. It felt really generic. Like Bruce Wayne going around telling people, I'm assembling a team of those with special abilities. Like, we've heard this line how many times now?
From Nick Fury,
not even just Marvel. Like, other movies have done this kind of stuff, too, and it's like, we've heard this line before. Come on.
Isn't Snyder directing the first Justice League movie?
I don't think so. Let me check.
I don't think
Here's the problem, and I'll tell you what it is. Marvel fanboys are the problem because and DC is listening to the crap. They're trying to dumb down and cater to what Marvel fans want. It's like people complain, oh, Batman vs Superman wasn't funny enough. Like, no, DC tends to go a lot darker than Marvel. I'm sorry, Marvel. Even though I prefer Marvel, Marvel's more kid-friendly or fan-friendly. DC goes a little bit deeper, and so they're trying to make too many adjustments. It's like we hear about the Suicide Squad, how they went in and redid parts to make the movie funnier. Like DC needs to stick to what they do. You know, people are going to watch it regardless. You know, stop trying to be Marvel, and that's the problem. Even though I'm contradicting myself because my last time I said they need to follow Marvel as far as their time, but as far as how the movies go, they need to stop trying to be Marvel.
Yeah, I was going to say, I always find that DC has a tendency to be a little bit more dark, and I find Marvel, sometimes it feels just a little too campy, sometimes. But that's just my opinion on it.
Civil War was dark? No, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
I'm going to disagree. I feel like DC focuses way too much on being too dark sometimes. It's cool to lighten up your mood.
That's a good point. I mean, not even just that, but the idea. I think that they're mentally stuck in this position where they're like, we don't want to be like Marvel. We don't want to be like Marvel, but they don't take the good aspects of that.
That's
where
not
it's
the
like
issue.
Having an end credit scene is not being Marvel. People have end credit scenes.
But that's not the issue. The issue is you got to understand when DC started to make its comeback. Yeah,
water in the party.
I did a teleportation jutsu and popped up in here. So listen, when it comes to DC, you got to understand how DC came into the game. You got to remember the first Superman movie, when they had the other guy, not the new Superman, no, not Christopher Reeve, the Rebirth, yeah, and basically that movie wasn't dark at all. It wasn't campy. The reason why everything has become dark is because of the success of The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight took such a serious tone with Batman and the direction and the writing that they did with that trilogy, and it was such a big success, they went ahead and went to go follow that success. The thing that makes Marvel great is because it is light and it is funny and it's more action-based and not as serious. They took that same tone with Man of Steel, and in my opinion, I like Man of Steel a lot. And they try to do the same thing with the last Batman vs Superman. But I think the problem with Batman vs Superman more than anything isn't the tone that is dark. It's the fact that the directing and the editing was absolutely terrible. What they took out of that film made the film almost unrecognizable when you watch the Ultimate Edition. It's a completely different film in a way. So I think, like Fame said, DC needs to stick with what they do. It can be dark, but you can throw in little bits of humor here and there. Don't copy Marvel's formula, because then all the comic guys and guys like us that love this stuff will recognize that, oh, they're copying Marvel. You know, we don't want that. DC needs to have its own identity, and I think they need to stick with what they're doing.
And I definitely agree with that aspect of it. Like, they need to do what they're going to do, but at the same time, like, you don't want to be in this position where it's like, I'm not going to do it, not because it's not a good idea, but because, oh, Marvel did it, we don't want to do it.
But I don't want Batman cracking jokes every hour.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that formula. I'm talking about, like, a simple thing. Like, okay, one of the things was, like, you know how right after the movie came out, or after Batman vs. Superman came out, they had the, what's his name, Steppenwolf. The Steppenwolf scene that they released online. They actually said that was that should have been at the end of the movie, but they said we didn't want to put it there because we didn't want to be like Marvel. There was no point to do that. Now, if they just put that at the end of the movie as an extra credit scene, that would have made it all tie together and feel a lot better.
I don't know if that would have been enough, though. You're talking about almost
enough, but it would have helped.
You're talking about almost 30, 40 minutes cut from that film just to get the time down so they could put it in the movie thinking it was too long. You know what makes Lord of the Rings great? The fact that it is 3 hours and that they really go thoroughly into the books and try to get as authentic as they possibly can with it. That's why it's such a great trilogy in itself. You know, sometimes a movie may be long, but if all the pieces make sense, you're in it. You're in it.
You just got to do it sometimes.
Right, you just lost. Right, you're lost into that film. So, I think what they have to do is if they're going to tell a story, they can't worry about the time.
What people are going to say all the time.
Right. They need to make the film exactly how they want to make it and not worry about editing it down. Because you don't see Marvel doing it. Marvel films are almost 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes sometimes, depending on, what the film is about. So I just really think
that those team-up movies are that long.
But that's what I'm saying. You have two historical characters. To me, they both needed way more screen time. Superman had, I don't know, like probably 30 lines in the whole film. Like literally. It was literally a Batman movie to an extent. And I was kind of disappointed in that. But at the same time, I think that it's really important that, if DC is going to do their films right and get it right, they need to figure out their own formula in their own way. I really was impressed with the Justice League trailer, and I like the direction that that's going.
I mean, we were all saying this earlier. Like, I like the trailer. I like the vibe it's giving. It is a little lighter. It doesn't have to be that light, but it was enjoyable. People felt like they were distinct characters. My only real gripe was some of the script writing. I think like the conversation with Flash should have ended after Flash said, "Don't need to tell me anymore. I'm in." Like, it should have ended right there, but it felt like it dragged on a little too long, and it was like
they could have took the whole scene with the Batarang and put it into like a second trailer or something.
The whole Batarang thing, I thought that was cool. That should have been in the trailer. I'm talking about right after he was like, "I'm assembling a team of people with special powers." He's like, "Don't need to tell me anymore. I'm in." And he's like, "Wait, it was that easy?" It's like, "Why?" And it's like, "Oh, I need friends."
But you know something though? You know why I like that? And why I'm glad that they didn't cut it? I'm sorry. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman are not funny characters. They're just not. That's not who they are as people. Flash, Green Lantern, those are the funny characters. So making sure that Flash gets off that humor that he normally does in the film lets you know that Flash is Flash, and that's really important, and I'm glad that came across. Yep. Batman being funny, that's not Batman.
That would piss me off. Batman cracking a joke every 30 minutes for just irritating. Yeah, he's not Iron Man. Like, I want Batman to be Batman.
Right. Batman is a stoic figure. He's dark. He's brooding. That's his character. That's how his character's always been. So trying to make a lighter Batman and things like that, that's not ideal. And I don't know if that's going to come across as good. But Flash, or when they introduce Green Lantern and things like that, that makes sense. Even the Cyborg cutscene was solid. You know what I'm saying? That was a solid scene. So I'm really impressed with that. I was absolutely blown away by the Wonder Woman trailer.
Oh, yeah. Tell
Oh
us
yeah.
something about that. We were just talking about that earlier.
So, yeah, I just want to get my thoughts on that. I as someone who really doesn't, that's not really big into female protagonists, like heroes and things like that. I said to myself, I probably was not going to go see this film, and not out of the fact that it's a Wonder Woman film, but I'm just not. For me, I'm just not really into that type of those type of films or whatever. So watching the trailer, it really impressed me. It really impressed me to the point that I was like, damn, I actually might want to go see this film, and that was really important. And I really hope the one thing, just to finish up, the one thing that DC did with Batman versus Superman that I pray that they don't do with any of their next couple of films is show the whole damn movie through commercials.
Yeah.
Please don't
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thank you.
That's
I
not
feel
even
like-
just DC. Everyone, make these trailers short and sweet. Show a good chunk. Show a good chunk of it. Just show us some highlights. That's it. You don't need to show any more. Don't do any spoiler stuff. Just show us a little bit. That's all we need.
Trailers should not be more than 2 minutes. I'm getting really tired with games and movies having like 3 to 4 minute trailers and giving away key plot points. I want to go in knowing kind of what I'm going to see, but I don't want key story points. Like, I felt after watching all the Batman versus Superman trailers, I knew like 3/4 of the movie already.
I felt like if they kept the secret of Doomsday a secret and really just made it a focus on Batman versus Superman, it would have been much better.
Oh yeah.
It would have been much
The whole
100%.
Doomsday thing would have been such a huge fan teaser thing, even though they botched it up a little bit. But I mean, hey, I would have forgiven it because it's Doomsday.
But you know what it is? It's like there were so many people down that Ben Affleck was Batman at the beginning. Before the
he
film
did,
came
he
out.
did his thing, man.
Man,
did
he
his thing.
remind me of Arkham Knight Batman so much. It's crazy.
He did his thing, but it's just like everybody was hating on him because of that Daredevil role. No one was giving the movie any kind of respect. If you look at all the trailers they released before they kind of dropped the big trailer with Batman doing action and Superman and Doomsday finally appearing, that trailer, those trailers were getting so much negative feedback. It was just complete negative.
Now,
And
see,
they just-
I don't think the problem was they show Doomsday because most movies you show the main the villain, but the fact that they showed Doomsday's origins what pissed people off.
But I think the thing is that Doomsday wasn't meant to be the main villain. That was supposed to be a surprise. The whole focus was supposed to be Batman versus Superman.
And they should have just stuck to
And
Batman
they
and
should have just
Superman
stuck to
having
Batman
fights.
versus Superman, right? And it should have been like that through the whole film until you got to the end where they had to come together to, battle Doomsday.
True.
Yeah, because like in the trailer they should have focused on like Batman, Superman, and a little bit on Lex, and then not even mention Doomsday at all. They should have
Wow.
just left him out of the trailer.
I will say that was the second time that DC has made people eat crow because they were wrong. People said Heath Ledger couldn't play the Joker, and they said Ben Affleck couldn't play Batman. So it's the second time they got people eating crow.
Well, except
Yeah, that was impressive.
except for one person, except for Lex Luthor, which
They messed, it should have been Bryan Cranston. It should have been Bryan Cranston. They
take the L on that
screwed
one,
up.
retroactively add it.
Yeah, it should have been Bryan Cranston.
I didn't have a problem with what's his name?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex in today's world where everything is so tech advanced and you talked about Silicon Valley and things like that. So I get it. You're a billionaire company. You're basically the Microsoft of your time in a way, or the Apple of your time in a way, in that film. So I kind of get it. He's very neurotic, and I'm hoping that the character becomes a little bit darker, a little bit more devious with the bald head after this first Justice League movie, and he kind of takes more of a sinister role than this quirky guy. But it can show you a transition that's happening as he starts to understand what's happening in the galaxy, by talking to, Darkseid's minion and things like that. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to Justice League. I don't know how they're going to reintroduce Superman into this film. Clearly, they didn't show him, so maybe he may not be in it. Maybe he will at the end, but we'll see.
They showed the image of everybody who's going to be in it, and Superman standing right there, and I'm just like, how are you guys going to bring him back into this since he didn't show him? Yeah.
I feel like if you can't do the Superman, like, it's hard because if you base it on the comic books, there were multiple Supermen before Superman came back. While he recovered, and while he was in the Fortress of Solitude, retraining himself and getting his strength back, coming out of that coma, and everything. You had the robot version of Superman, Superboy, his best friend John Man of Steel. There was like so many different versions. You had the clone.
But they ain't even got that kind of time to do
They
all
don't have
of
that kind of time to do all of that, right? So it's like, does he just burst out of the grave all of a sudden? You know, he doesn't really have a Fortress of Solitude. That's another thing that kind of pisses me off a little bit in the movie.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it's like we all know Superman's world is based on crystals and things like that, and that's not even introduced at all in a way, So it's just weird. It's like, does he use the spaceship as his Fortress of Solitude? Like, how is that working right now? I'm not really comprehending how that works, but somehow I guess he'll make it back and recover.
All right, we do have to move on. We got a ton of other topics. I don't think any of us really here are used to not having more than 3 or 4 topics, but there's so much that happened with Comic-Con. We have got to move on. We also had the Netflix series got a full rundown of what's going to happen, who's going where, what's going on. This September, Luke Cage will be on Netflix.
That trailer was so fire.
Oh my god,
bro! I'm so hyped for Luke Cage, bro. Like that was dope. That was dope. Like I'm hyped for that. Like I'm literally gonna have it watched in like a day or two. Like I can't wait for that.
Dude, I really can't wait for that, because the thing is, Luke Cage and Iron Fist in particular are my favorite buddy team ups in the Marvel universe. Where it's those two characters together are just hilarious. They bounce off each other very well. They kick so much ass together. I love Luke and Danny together, and I could not wait to see Luke Cage get his own show. And I'm just more excited now, because that means that actually Iron Fist is just around the corner too.
Yeah, Iron Fist should be dope. I think once we get past the controversy of everything with Iron Fist and everything that's been going on, I think that the Defenders TV show is going to be real interesting. But I just really like the way they introduced Luke Cage. I really do. Just that opening scene, the music, the setting, and then like the confrontation at the end. It was like these two dudes with deep voices. One dude's laughing at him like he's a joke. The other dude is like, nah, this is real. Like, you kind of felt the intensity in that last scene. It was like, hey, I'm kind of hyped for it, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that was Copperhead, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's supposed to be his best friend turned villain, Copperhead. Yeah.
I find that so interesting that, at least with the Netflix series, like, they haven't really run into the same kind of territory yet, where Daredevil is more of a traditional, here's a mob boss, he's your antagonist. The next one's kind of like a clinging ex-boyfriend is Jessica Jones kind of dude, and now it's like your best friend turned evil. I just can't wait. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
They also showed the Iron Fist trailer. Not much to see there yet, so I just thought it was nice that they had something.
Yeah, small teaser. It looks interesting though.
Yeah. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched it for the first time. I don't have a lot in the comic background, so like this was like a first time seeing like Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Like I don't have a lot in the comic background, especially Marvel. But it looks crazy. Like this is gonna be something like when it comes out on Netflix, I'm gonna binge watch in like a day and a half and then have my head explode. But legit, I'm like overly excited for everything that's coming down, and all these Netflix has just been on fire with their exclusive like TV shows. I don't even know why people have TV anymore.
It's crazy that you say that, because I said the same exact thing after watching Strange Things, which blew me away, by the way. I love that. It felt so 80s. And after watching that, I'm just sitting up there saying to myself, how is Netflix failing? Because they didn't do well their last quarter. So I'm just kind of like trying to figure out what the hell are people watching, because Netflix is where it's at right now.
Well, I think Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones took people away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, but still, they were projected to get 2.7 or 2.1 million new subscribers, and they only got 1.3 or 1.5. That's a big miss when it comes to your projections, man. And it's not doing well for them. I hope people do pick up the subscription. I think they said also it had to do with the increase in price.
That too.
A lot of people I know on my end, because I'm from up north, our Netflix is a lot different than yours, and a lot of us were using IP changers and everything else so that we could get American Netflix and get a lot more of the shows. And they started IP blocking. If you use an IP proxy or anything, they block you from using Netflix. So a lot of people have dropped their Netflix subscription. I know about 7 or 8 people that have dropped their Netflix subscription over that. So.
And then you got to remember that people also bum each other's password from one another, so they actually want to pay for things.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Truth.
Yeah. All right, so we got a couple more topics to talk about. First off, let's talk about the announcement of the new Captain Marvel. Brie Larson has been announced as the Captain Marvel, or at least the Marvel Captain Marvel. Not Billy Batson, the good Captain Marvel, but as Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. So, Brie Larson, any thoughts about that casting?
Nah.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
I'm solid. It's solid. I mean, Brie Larson's a great actress. I just don't listen. I don't want to ever down anybody in a superhero role. Cameras do amazing things. Special effects do amazing things. She's a really good actress. But we're talking about superheroes right now. You don't need to be a great actor to have an amazing, superhero film. So,
Batista.
I mean, yeah, Batista, Vin Diesel. I mean, you can go on and on. But I think that I think she's just solid, man. I don't know if I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now. I think that could do a better role. I'm just glad they didn't put
Hold up.
an MMA fighter in there.
Who's
Oh,
watching
hold up.
Spider-Man? I can hear it.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
I could hear that score in the background. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah.
All right, continue. I'm sorry.
My wife's watching Spider-Man. I apologize.
Spider-Man.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Cal.
No, I was just saying that I think she's a solid. I'm just glad. I'm saying she's a solid actress. But I'm just glad they didn't use an MMA fighter or somebody of the like to try to put a spin on it to make somebody like a fighter that had the hand skills and the body build for it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she looks good, but she's bland enough to be Carol Danvers. Because Carol Danvers has always been a very bland character to me. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, Brie Larson, go ahead.
I don't really know much about Captain Marvel. I don't really follow Captain Marvel, both male or female, and in the Marvel universe, by the way.
Mhm.
But I guess that they're trying to introduce. I know they have a lot of strong female characters in the Marvel universe, and she's been added to them, and they got a nice little squad that they're building up. So I look forward to whatever Marvel pumps out.
Yeah. I mean, I like her. She's more popular than the original Marvel Captain Marvel. She's more popular than he ever was, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you, Demi? You care?
It's a more of an ad thing for me. I need to see her in action before I'm like, yo, this is gonna be hype or not. But she looks, like you said, okay enough to play her, I guess. I'm not really too focused on Captain Marvel right now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any of those guys want to talk about it on that?
Nah.
No.
No, I mean, there's not really much to say in that regard. I mean, I'm just reading the comics section, and Angela says something that reminded me of how I felt when they first cast Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot. And I'm saying to myself, has anybody ever seen Wonder Woman, or what an Amazonian looks like? Like these women, like these women are built. They're warriors for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They're shapely. And in all the right places, not to be misogynistic, but let's keep it real. We know what Wonder Woman has always looked at and how she's always been portrayed. But she's always been a feminist, she's always been a strong character. Gal Gadot is so skinny. Don't get me wrong, she's a beautiful woman.
Up, but it's not like...
Yeah, I mean, look, she's a beautiful woman. And like I said, CGI, man, and special effects make you look amazing.
Who was the person that played Wonder Woman in the 70s?
Oh, what's her name? Crap.
'Cause I feel like that was one of the best representations of him.
Yeah, she was pretty good. My thing is just like I liked how they portrayed her in the New Frontier, the animated movie,
Hmm.
where it's like she's taller than Superman.
I don't like the way they portray Superman in anything. I, I don't. Like seriously, they don't. They just always portray him as such a weak character in comparison to all the other heroes. And he's
I think
like
I think it's just because they try to portray him more human-like than him just being.
Now they always portray Superman like he's the kind of kid that would rat on you in school for chewing gum. That's
but
how
you
they
have to
always seem
realize
portray
that
him.
Superman is that guy that battles his morality.
But the thing is, they make Superman dumb. Superman is probably top 3 smartest characters in the DC universe, just as a Kryptonian alien alone.
Maybe he's
And
just
for-
not a jerk. He likes to brag about it.
Nah, they don't use him. They don't use him well. The thing that kills me, and like we're completely off subject at this point because we're talking about characters, but it just kills me that the man can think on a computational level, the same level damn near as Flash, but they don't use that. They don't use it. They just don't. In any comic book, they talk about all his powers and everything he can do. In every comic, you see all these things he's capable of doing, but it never comes together when he needs it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never comes together when he needs it. And he constantly gets beat on by these regular, superhero characters or people without powers. I just don't get it. But whatever, man. That's just me. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Anyway, moving on to topics because we still got stuff to go through, man. We got so much to go through. All right, Michael Keaton. We have known to be in the a lot of feedback going on. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, we're
Yo.
here. We're here.
Oh, yeah. I was hearing a lot of feedback. I was like, "What is that? Are we at the beach now?" Jeez.
Ah,
All right. Anyway, so yeah, going on a little bit more. We heard about Michael Keaton was supposedly going to be in the new Spider-Man movie, and I now have confirmation that he will be playing the Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming. And
I'm excited.
I'm looking at it, yeah, it's Michael Keaton. Sure, we have Batman now in the Marvel Universe.
It's not even that. I'm excited just because we have a different villain at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of seeing Venom and stuff like that. I'm excited to see somebody different, somebody that isn't stabilized in cinematic universe. I'm actually excited to see them pick out somebody that's different from the regular villain.
Yeah, I kind of want to see how it's going to go. I want to see what kind of twist they put on it. I know, and a lot of stuff at the Marvel event, like they didn't release any of the trailers for, and a lot of it was just like little sizzle reel stuff, and it was cool. It was enjoyable, but there was nothing we could see here. Like there's some bootleg footage floating out there, and so that kind of stinks. But I want to see an HD, man.
but I mean, yeah, good choice, man. And Michael Keaton, one of the greatest actors, one of the greatest, well, not great, one of the best actors of our generation. I mean, I picked a good guy. I mean, he kind of looks like him. I don't think he need much makeup to play his role, but yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it.
I was gonna say Michael Keaton was always Michael Keaton was the Batman that I grew up on through my parents, and it's gonna be exciting to see him in a new role. So, and he was
your favorite Batman?
Yeah, I was gonna say like he would go down as my favorite Batman.
Okay.
I don't know. I wouldn't call him my favorite Batman, but I
just have this unjustifiable hate for.
Don't say Christian Bale.
I'm saying Christian Bale.
We're removing you from the show. I love Christian Bale's Batman.
I plead the fifth on that one.
Me too.
We're gonna fight.
All right. So I mean, it's cool. I really want to see that sizzle reel eventually. I really want to see it before I say anything else. What about you, Demi? You like Michael Keaton?
No, he's a cool Batman. He's cool.
All right.
Everyone's so non-committal on Michael Keaton.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's a great Batman. I have my preferred choice and everything. So he's not my preferred choice. I'm not
I'm
gonna.
just saying, when's George Clooney gonna get some love? Am I right? No.
Get this guy out of here.
Boy, stop.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good. All right, so yeah, moving on to something a little more interesting. We had the new King Kong trailer that came out, and like for you guys know, I like King Kong a lot. I really enjoy King Kong. It's probably my favorite monster movie character. I just really dig it. I've always enjoyed King Kong. So this one, I looked at it and I was like, I'm a little skeptical here because I knew they were bringing him back to do a King Kong versus Godzilla thing. So I knew they were doing that, but I wanted to see kind of how they were going to handle it. And I watched the first trailer and I'm kind of digging it. I like the vibe. I'm getting a good feeling about this one. But I'll let you guys talk about it first.
You know what? I'm not going front with you. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm about to watch it right now.
Being more of a Godzilla-oriented fan, I've watched King Kong growing up and stuff. I love King Kong and stuff like that. Honestly, keeping it 100, this movie looks fucking great. Excuse my French, but this movie looks absolutely fantastic, and I am excited to see this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I am not a fan at all of any Godzilla movies or any of the King Kong movies.
Oh my God, the hate is so real. Oh my Lord, just get out of the party right now. What? Are you insane right now?
I hate Godzilla.
Are you insane? Godzilla is my favorite King of the Monsters, man. I grew up watching.
I just never been into the monster movies, but I will definitely give this one a chance.
Bro, oh my God, there's so many monsters you don't even know about. It's absolutely insane. If they can revive all of these characters, like Mothra, the spider, the turtles with cannons in his back, yo, son, it would be absolutely amazing.
Well, King Kong got some star power in it.
I know.
What I actually need is I need like a 5 list of what monster movies are the best ones and watch those and sit down and watch those before I see this one. So if anyone can compile me a list, that'd be fantastic.
It'd be hard because all of them are in black and white, bro. It's tough to watch black and white movies.
I'd suggest just to get a general vibe of it, like you gotta have at least a bad movie in there. So I'd suggest the 2000 Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
No. That's not even.
Just so you see how bad that is,
and
and appreciate the rest of it.
No, that's not even in the same realm of really Godzilla. Come on, son. You're already screwing him up as it is.
Sucked,
that was an absolute travesty. You want to watch like Godzilla 2000, which is the Japanese version, or like, I don't know, 1998 or something like that. You got to go back to the 80s, King of the Monsters, and watch those films. It's very cheesy, but if you go through the years, you'll start to understand what this is all about and like how all of these monsters play their different roles, including King Kong. They actually had a King Kong versus Godzilla and some.
They did. That was some weird stuff though. It was like, oh, King Kong got radioactive, so he got bigger, or something like that. It was like, eh. I mean, honestly though, King Kong was never really on the same like size scale as Godzilla though. Like,
he really wasn't.
He's not. Like I think it was if you were to compare him to like a traditional Godzilla, he's like down to his shins. Like it's not even close.
Yeah, but they made him this size so they can do battle.
Him a lot bigger in this one.
Yeah, he's real big.
They made him the same size as Godzilla so they can fight. They're gonna have a Godzilla versus King Kong.
Fight too. Oh my god,
that would be devastating. There'd be so many people dead. Makes no sense. And in the original film, King Kong won, which to this day I just call BS. No possible way King Kong could have beat Godzilla, bro.
Any self-respecting King Kong fan would know Godzilla would win. Like it's not. The only scenario is if they were actually if King Kong was actually that big, and there was some stuff going on the side.
But we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do yourself a favor, man. Go watch these movies. Go.
I already got a list written down.
Please do not watch the Matthew Broderick Godzilla.
I love showing people that just so they could see how bad it is, because it was terrible.
Please.
Yeah, but you're gonna scare them off. They need to be able to compare it to
Don't
something else.
subjugate
I
him
know,
to
but
this,
you,
man.
you show them something else as well. But I'm just saying, put that on the list somewhere, just so you can compare how bad something is before you do go around declaring everything else is bad. Have a little
All right,
context.
so you know what I'll do is I'll watch the other ones first, and I'll watch that
watch
one
the other ones
last.
first. Feel good for a bit, and then watch the Broderick one, just so you see how disappointing
And
it
then
was.
watch how
just-
fast you get pissed off.
It's another example of what Hollywood does with great things. Just like they ruined Dragon Ball Z, they ruined Godzilla, they ruined everything.
That travesty of Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
Z was
Oh my
ruined before the
God,
movie.
bro.
Yo, man, that's a different story for a different time, man.
Hollywood needs to just stop putting their fingers in so many pies that just need to be left alone.
They think they know what they're doing, and that's one of the sad parts.
Man, they
about it.
still about to ruin Death Note for me, man. So,
Yeah, it's been crazy.
All right. I think we got just a few more topics to cover. They had a new Doctor Strange trailer came out as well. That was actually the second trailer. It was the first real long trailer, and I'll let you guys start first.
I'm ready. That's all I gotta say. I'm ready. Like I want to see this. Just the guy that they have as Doctor Strange alone, he feels like he fits the role so perfectly, man. He's really captured the feel of Doctor Strange and what he's about to become. So I'm ready. That trailer has sold me over completely.
I didn't see the trailer, so I don't have any much to comment on it. I just know that in the first trailer, I thought it was Inception 2. So I'm hoping that they were able to change it around from Inception 2 to make it feel more like Doctor Strange, because it just really felt that way. You know, it was all people in suits and worlds flipping on top of each other. It was just crazy. So I haven't seen the second trailer, but I'm gonna watch it, and hopefully they made some changes to it to make it feel more magical.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mid-range on it. I'm like, the casting is really well done. I will admit that, but the movie itself, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it. Like, I'm not going to see it the first day it comes out, but I'll probably see it at some point down the road.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Here's the thing: Doctor Strange is one of those characters where I really get down with them because it's a completely different kind of character than the Marvel superhero stuff. It really just is, and I like to see how they adapt things to modern times. And like one thing that really pissed me off about the Marvel was that with Thor, they kind of dodged the bullet about magic. They really kind of dodged it and made it sound like, oh, it's not magic, it's advanced science we don't understand just yet. And they really dodged that whole topic. But with Doctor Strange, you really can't do that. You kind of have
to go all the way in.
Stuff, and you gotta accept that magic exists in some capacity, and I want to see that happen. And I've been dying to see how they do it. I like the aesthetic that they're doing with it. It does look very Inception-esque, but it looks unique, and it looks like it has a little bit of comedy, but not much. So I mean, I'm looking forward to the movie.
I'm ready. Like I've never really been a big Doctor Strange fan, but yo, this movie looks crazy.
Well, I do know Doctor Strange is one of the more powerful Marvel superheroes in that universe, so I just hope he's portrayed as such.
Yeah.
All right.
We got one more topic, I believe. Let me just one last little thing before we break out for the evening. So Guardians of the Galaxy, same kind of deal. The second one's coming out next year, and we knew for a while that Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell were going to be in the movie. And one thing we did know, well, most of us knew, was that Kurt Russell would be playing Star-Lord's father.
Hold up, they gonna have Tango and Cash and Guardians of the Galaxy?
They got tons of people in that movie. It's gonna be nuts.
This is insane. I can't believe it. Tango and Cash is gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. About to be too fire.
Dude, Kurt Russell. So we all didn't know who Kurt Russell would be playing, but it's been revealed that Kurt Russell will be playing Ego, the Living Planet.
Kurt Russell is going to be playing Ego, the Living Planet. Okay.
Yep.
I have
Which
no idea what that is.
Literally a giant planet.
I don't follow Guardians of the Galaxy. Like the stories of it. Just watching the film for the first time is really the first time that I've understood it. I know Drax's history with Thanos, and I know Thanos' story, and kind of like how some of the characters intertwine a bit. But I don't really know much about Star-Lord, his father, and how all that integrates into everything. So
yeah, I mean, in the comics, it's like his father is Starhawk, and it's another. He's like half alien or something like that. And it's not Ego, the Living Planet in the comics is not his father. So this was really kind of a curveball completely out of left field, and I kind of want to see how this is going to work now. Like,
so
I
basically,
don't know how the dynamics going to work anymore.
Basically, what you're saying right now is that Hollywood messed up the movie already.
Well, I wouldn't say messed up, because there's a lot of things where Marvel we've seen things on paper, and we're like Marvel, and we're like, oh, Marvel, you screwed up. This is big time. And I give
but then
Marvel.
Marvel's gonna always throw another curveball at you that you don't expect.
Yeah, and it generally works. So I mean, it's like I was really kind of hesitant about Kingpin. I was like, Vincent D'Onofrio doesn't look that good to me. And then it was like, oh, never mind. So I mean, with Marvel, they kind of earned that benefit of the doubt scenario. So I kind of let them slide on some stuff. I gotta see how it plays, though.
Okay. We'll see what happens, man. I'm more interested in Hulk Thor movie. That's what I'm interested in.
That too.
I really want to see like War Hulk, Planet Hulk. That's what I want to see.
Yep.
It's time for Hulk. I know Hulk's had a few films, and they've been okay. The first one was very mediocre. The second one was much better. But with Mark Ruffalo as Hulk and him in the Avengers, he's just played such a great role as both Banner and the Hulk. I think will be really impressive for him to get his own movie that he can run. And they really just start introducing all these Hulks: Red Hulk, Gray Hulk. It has to come to a point to where you really start bringing in these different characters. If you're going to start doing all these like B side characters, C side characters of the Marvel Universe, you should really start to go in depth with Hulk and stop using these mediocre characters that they've been using so far.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Hulk is one of those things where it's like he needs his own movie. He really does, but he can't. There's for a lot of reasons for that, but he really just can't.
Why? There is no reason.
There's a legal reason behind it.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things. So
doesn't someone else own the rights for like a Planet Hulk?
Distributing rights. It's Paramount.
Paramount? Are you kidding me? Yo, what the hell was Marvel thinking back in the day? Just trying to survive, selling whatever they could sell?
Dude, you gotta understand, with Iron Man, that was their last shot in the dark. They were going bankrupt. Like, they were going to be out of the business entirely, comics and movies included. They were going to be done. And when that succeeded, that saved them. That saved everything for Marvel.
You know what's sad is that you have a guy like Stan Lee who has built that empire, and now he can only do cameos in all his character films. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even own your stuff anymore. I'm sure you're paid. I'm sure your family is taken care of and things like that. But it's got to be very upsetting, just like George Lucas with Star Wars. Once you sell your baby and people just start, manhandling it all types of ways, and you have no say in what direction it goes, if the film is going to be good, you can only be an advisor, and that's even if they take your advice. That is hurtful. It can be very, it can really leave you distraught in a way. So I feel bad for the people at Marvel, or the original creators of Marvel, that they had to go through what they had to go through, and now their stuff is booming in the movies. And I don't even know, do they even see proceeds for that? Like, is there some type of...
I'm sure Stan Lee still gets, I'm sure he gets a royalty still.
I was going to say, if it's anything like
Stan Lee does, because it would just be Marvel. Because they actually had that whole case about it with, not Steve Ditko, but Jack Kirby. That when he left, he wanted to take his characters with him, or at least get paid for all the characters he made. But no, every character you made while working for Marvel, if it was requested, is Marvel's. The company owned it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's horrible. But I get it. As a company, it's a company. It's like Rare. Once Rare got sold to Microsoft, Microsoft now owns Rare, and Microsoft owns all of Rare's titles. They can kill Rare today, but they would still own the games, kind of like Lionhead, like they did with Lionhead. So it's terrible for the people that worked there that built all of these franchises, and they can't do anything with them or have any direction they want to go.
If we're comparing Rare and Marvel, and I'm hoping that where Microsoft decides to bring back Conquer, and that'll kind of kickstart those Rare characters.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Bring back. I'm hoping that Rare has a revival of its older characters like Marvel did with these characters. I hope that maybe Banjo can be the Iron Man and bring back those characters, man. Because Marvel Rare has a bunch of great characters. I would love to see in game this generation.
I mean, if they still own the licenses to some of the games we played, like the games from the 16-bit era, like Saber Wolf and things like that, I don't see why they couldn't revive something like that. Or something like Battletoads. I heard is already in the works. So, I've spoken plenty of times about Rare having 2 other projects besides Sea of Thieves. We don't know what they are, but it's a strong possibility. It could be something like Jet Force Gemini or something from their past that they're ready to revive, and hopefully that kicks them off into the space that all of us Rare fans want them to be at. So hopefully that'll happen. But I think that with both Marvel and DC, it's really important that they try to stay as close to the comic book or as close to the body of what those characters are and not stray too far away from it because it's Hollywood. And I want to see more characters that may not be prominent roles, may not be A heroes like the A heroes, but B heroes like a Blue Beetle and a Booster Gold. And Raven and Beast Boy and the Teen Titans and
so they need to do something with Teen Titans, man.
They really do.
I was so pissed that TNT canceled. TNT was working on a live action Teen Titans show and they canceled it before it could even get off the freaking ground. I was so pissed because the Teen Titans and even I even want to freaking see Young Justice. I mean, they have so much stuff they can do.
Young Justice was dope. Young Justice was dope. Yeah, I agree. I did like Young Justice too.
Yeah, Young Justice and the Teen Titans, man. If we can get those back, I'd be happy.
Well, Young Justice is in Netflix hands. They say people who watch and show interest in it, they'll probably bring it back.
Yeah, I loved the show when it came out. I mean, they introduced so many not sidekick characters, but younger versions of characters that already exist.
Yes.
And they're being groomed to take those leads and stuff like that. And one of the great things about that show was the dynamic between, Superman and Superboy and stuff. Yes. Where Superman it's his DNA, but it's also Lex Luthor's DNA, and he doesn't really look at him as his own kid, but he has to groom him because this kid has some of his powers and abilities, but he's on edge. He's not Superman, but at the same time, he's destroyed because he has to live in the shadow of Superman, And then you have I forget her name, Megan. The Martian Manhunter's niece. Yeah, like it's really cool how that dynamic plays out, and she's afraid of her true self. She doesn't want to show it because she looks like a monster. It's dope, man. I really hope that is revived. I love Justice League, especially the animated series. I'm telling you right now, Marvel has nothing on DC's animated series. Period.
It doesn't. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. Definitely awesome. Hank.
Yep. All right. So, anything else you guys want to talk about before we head out?
Man.
Any thoughts on the games with gold that was leaked out?
Yeah, we did. We did have the games with gold leaked earlier. It's going to be WWE 2K16 and what was the other one? It was Warriors Orochi Ultimate 3.
The games with gold? Really?
Yeah.
We get a wrestling game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, that's big, man.
2K16.
Yep.
Hey, that's big. That's big. 2K16, that's big. I haven't bought a wrestling game since PlayStation 2.
You know what? They kind of matching what PS4 did with the NBA 2K16.
They really need to get. I'm not gonna lie.
They kind of matched it by getting their own, bigger. Wrestling isn't a sports game, but technically it's a sports game. It's an annual game, so they kind of matched it with WWE.
I mean, I get what Microsoft is doing. WWE is nowhere near on the level of 2K16. We're talking about the premier basketball game in video games. But I do like that they're giving away this game. I didn't even know about that. I wasn't even up on that.
It just happened.
Oh, really? So I'm about to go download that. I'm definitely gonna check that
No,
out.
it's not up yet, but it's just leaked.
Oh, it just leaked. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope
Yeah.
it's true.
I
do
think
hope it's
Xbox
true.
just put up a video.
Yeah, it was on the Xbox YouTube channel, so chances
Okay.
are.
That'll be big, man. I think that'll be solid. And what was the other game?
Warriors Orochi 3.
I'm not
Beyond
really
Good
into
and
those.
Evil and Spelunky for the 360.
Yeah.
Where Beyond
Yo,
Good
we
and
get
Evil?
Warriors Orochi 3? Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Beyond Good
Hold
and
on.
Evil and 2K16 is pretty dope. I'm not a big
Demi got hype.
Yeah.
Warriors
Warriors
Orochi?
Orochi. Yeah, he got hyped now. I can't get into those games, man. I try to get into those type of what are they called? Man, the games where it's like a whole bunch of people coming at you and you just hit them and they all do the same reaction at the same time.
Like Dynasty Warriors.
Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, like Dynasty Warriors or Gundam, the Gundam games and stuff like that. I can't get into those games.
Hold on,
But,
these games is legit. We're not gonna bring
I-
these games down, man. Come
I
on.
can't, bro. Those games are horrible.
Oh,
Those games are
Oh, damn.
terrible.
oh.
It's so repetitive.
We're not
over
talking
and
about the
over
free
and over
Tron
again.
game that Microsoft just gave us.
No doubt. No, well, I didn't play that Tron game. I didn't even download that.
This game is ass.
I ain't tried those games. But you think about what they gave us last month with the Crew, and now 2K16. Hey,
Dude, the
that's
Crew is
solid.
broken. I can't get past the opening cinematic of the Crew before it freezes up. The
Really?
game is broken.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
You know, the
Oh.
game starts. You're in the truck. It freezes in that truck every time I start it. I can't play the game. It's broken.
But I will say, if they are following up with 2K16 after just giving us the Banner Saga 2, this is actually a fantastic thing.
Xbox
yeah.
doing its thing, man.
I was
They
going to
are.
say, Xbox is like balancing out the games they're giving away. They're like, oh, you're like a sports fan or like the stereotypical bro gamer. Here,
Hey.
you have the wrestling game. You're kind of into like RPGs or something else. Here, have this game. Like, it's great. I love the balance they have the past
I
month or two.
guarantee you, we get Dead Rising 3 when Dead Rising 4 comes out, just like they did Tomb Raider. They gave us
I'm
Tomb
counting
Raider. Yep, they gave us Tomb Raider when Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider came out. I would not be surprised if they gave us Dead Rising 3 after 3 years when Dead Rising 4 comes out. I would not be surprised at that at all. So we'll see how that all plays out in the future. But you know, Microsoft doing their thing.
All right, so we'll wrap everything up here. We'll do shout outs for everybody just in a minute. And this has been Multiverse Podcast. Ending up with my host, Fame Entertainment.
What's going on, guys? Thanks again for joining us on the greatest podcast on a Monday, man. Good to have you guys out. It was good to have Lynn pop up with us today. I appreciate that. Demi, man, as always, you're my dog. Glad to have you on. Everybody who watched, man, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget our Gears of War 4 giveaway is up and running. And as always, make sure you get all of your gaming news from tickgn.com.
All right. Also, our other co-host, Undead.
It was great to be on the podcast again after a few weeks off. As always, don't forget to check out tickgn.com for your latest gaming news and everything else. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Mm-hmm. And we also had our first guest for the evening, Demi.
Hey guys, Demi and Demi got reviews here. Glad to be on the Multiverse Podcast. Such a great time to talk about comics. It's a good time indeed. What a time to be alive. But I'm glad to be on the show. Glad to be here. As always, check out my soon-to-be first ever post on TickGN about the King of Fighters 14 and my impressions and breakdown on it.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. And we also had Cal show up.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Your boy, the last son of Planet Xbox. I want to thank everyone for inviting me on the show. I'm sorry I showed up late. You know, very, very busy schedule. A lot of things happening.
CP time.
Definitely support TICGN.com, man. We're doing it big over there. The writers over there are doing excellent work and really deserve, you know, a lot of the attention for the things that they do. So please support us over there at TICGN.com and definitely stick with Tick Network. We have a lot of great things coming up. And you guys will be highly impressed. So keep rocking with the best.
All right. And this has been Anchorman here with the Multiverse Podcast, the greatest podcast on Mondays. I'll see you guys later.